trying, I've been doing a lot of research over the years into free energy, and one of the biggest problems with this kind of research is finance, because let me just put my camera in here. I'm a bit warm right now, it's boiling. It's because I don't know, it's just one of them evenings. So what I'm asking, because sorry, I'm really tired. What I'm asking, I'm too warm, take this cardi off. 1 minute I'm hot, then I'm cold. So what I'm asking is if people can leave comments in the comments section of this video, just explain a little bit, because what I've been doing is setting up a crowdfunder on the on a website in the UK, but the problem is it's hard for me to explain. You see, it's coming from me, and I prefer that people could, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, for many years, for example, if you could explain maybe 2 paragraphs or 1 paragraph, which sorry, my glasses have got a bit messed up. If you could explain in probably 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs, don't make it too long, because people don't like to read a lot of stuff, but because I've got this crowdfunder thing set up to help with the inventions and the design, well, funding the designs, because as you know, in the past there's been times when I've needed something and I can't afford it, because I'm in a disabled income because of my medical problems and falling down. Now, for example, I'm trying to get all this in one video really. For example, when I was designing the steel laminations for the transformers, well, let me just go back to the other camera. When I was designing this transformer, this thing down here, I originally used some steel, and then I used a friend sent me some nanocrystalline core material, which I used for this solid state generator. Sorry, with loads of stuff stuck to the magnets on here right now. Looks a bit messy, I know, but when I was designing this, I had to use recycled material, and obviously it would have been a lot easier if I was able to design something where I had something specifically made for my design, instead of having to recycle materials, because it's not ideal when you have to do that, because it means that the tuning and everything else creates a situation where the materials become cost prohibitive. That is, I can't afford to basically buy certain materials. Now, obviously when you're inventing something or designing something new, let me just get this wire out of the way, because I've got tangled up here. When you're designing new things, you have to design something that is new and not something that's recycled. Now, the steel laminations, I had these laser cut a few years ago, do you remember? Those of you who are watching, these were laminations. It's gone rusty now. I've taken the laminations out, obviously, that's why there's holes in it, and this other panel has still got a lot of laser cut components, laminations in here. Oh, flipping heck, this wire is in the way. So as you can see, there's there are laminations which I laser cut, and I take these out to build my projects. Now obviously that particular project was done probably it was done in around 2017, when my mum was still alive. And it was my mum, she left me some, what was it, about 5,000, something like that, I can't remember, 4,000. And left me a bit of money for me, and it was that enabled me to build that certain projects. Now most of it's on my YouTube channel. You can go and look at all that stuff from sorry, I'm just out of breath. From 5-6 years ago. Let's see, 2017 now. 17, yes, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's about 4 years ago, actually. Yeah. So anyway, but I have lots of ideas, but most of the ideas I just can't build because of financial constraints. So, and the ultimate goal is to find a cheap alternative energy source, or a generator if you like. And that's basically what we're doing, is looking to create a generator. And I've been researching my magnet motor propulsion system, and as you know, there's the talk about you can't get anything, there's no such thing as a free lunch and all this, but right, well, so there's been lots of videos on YouTube about self-propelling mechanisms and such like, and I've been designing this new kind of segment that basically can propel, I've got this wrong way around, propel something along a track like this. And so this is the segment I've been working, it's in camera. This is the segment I've been working on just recently, and it's just one drive segment to find a way of making a self-propelling motor to move a generator. So, and as you can see, it will move, and then we have escape. We can move away from it without it pulling it along like a train. And so this is what my current project is. Actually I need to, which way around? Yeah, that's the way around. So as you can see, we have this momentum. When we just bring the field in, it wants to go one way then the other way. You can see how this basically works. Right, so you can get the idea. So there's a lot of ideas I've come up with, but some of them are impractical to build, because for example, I would like to be able to build some of this stuff in steel or in metal, and engineering costs are really through the roof. I mean, just getting those panels laser cut, you're talking about, some of those panels were like 80 quid. That's £80 in UK sterling, and some of them were around £50, the smaller ones. And because you see, what happened to my camera just then? It just flashed to something. The larger the project, the more percentage-wise cheaper it gets, but you're still talking about quite a lot of money. So I often hit these obstacles where I can just stick to 3D printing something, and that is one way of doing it. But it's not the be all and end all, because most of these magnet motors and generators need to be in metal. They can't all be plastic because of screening, and I have to have special shapes cut to create the, as you know, I mean, anyone that knows about electric motors knows that they're all generally made out of metal. made out of steel or cast iron, and generally that's the way they're made. They're made out of metal because of the way a motor needs to encompass the magnetic field to keep it in a constrained state. Unfortunately, I just can't build most of this stuff in metal because it's prohibitive in the cost. So I can't test, I experiment, I can't do research in that area directly because it's just a lot of money. So I have basically a situation where I'm working with plastic and small amounts of metal, coupling things, and it's not an ideal situation where. So I mean, you can go and look at my YouTube videos from a few years back, and you'll see all the different designs I've done. So anyway, I want to keep this short, but if you want to leave some comments in below this video about what you've got out of it, I'll put something in the description for you to go and look at to read. Just basically say what you've got out of my channel. Just say how it's benefited you. It's not asking too much really, because I'll probably post a link to this video on the GoFundMe, because it's not live yet. I'm not posting it, I'm not going to make it live yet. When I say live, I mean it's not going to be published until I'm ready to take another step. But so for the moment, and also I want to make sure I've got certain things in place, like I'll probably have to create a website page, because I have to put, I've got my website, my book-stores.com, that needs renewing this December, so well before December actually, because it expires on the 3rd of December, so I've got to renew that. And I was thinking about creating a certain web page with a little bit more detail, because the problem on the GoFundMe, sorry, not GoFundMe, it's crowdfunder.co.uk. The problem with that website, I'm not saying there's a problem with it, but what I mean is you can't put much text in the boxes. You're limited to so many characters, and so I'd ideally like to put more characters and more details on my website, and put a link to my website from there so that people could read a bit more detail about it. And I haven't got that done yet, so I haven't got a website page sorted out yet, so that's another thing which has got to be done. And it would be nice to have some reviews which I could basically put on the website and from this YouTube video. That way people get a better idea, because let's face it, most people are don't understand what's involved with design and invention and engineering. Most people don't understand the ins and outs of all of that. I mean, you know, it's complicated, and it's even for me to try to explain it all, it's complicated. So the only way really is to build a web page with more information over time, and it's a long process. So I'm not going to put that, I'm not going to make it live yet until I've got certain things in place. And anyway, I think that's about it really. So anyway, at the moment I'm just basically trying to gather up some material to put on the website, as in, you know, it's just, yeah, I can write stuff, but it's got to be all factual, and I've got to review a lot of the stuff I did in the past really. I mean, I'd probably go and look at some of my past research, and the other problem is most of my YouTube videos are not in a playlist, so they're all scattered throughout my YouTube channel over several years. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue as well. I probably should have put them in a playlist, but I had some issues with my, because as you know I was on XP, and I had some issues with the browser and everything, and I couldn't go onto the, I couldn't go on the YouTube Studio because it wouldn't work for me. So I was doing it mostly on my phone. Now I've got Ubuntu working on the virtual machine. the Ubuntu has made it much easier for me to go and edit stuff, and I can probably create some new playlists and stick some of my videos in the playlists, and that would make things a lot easier to navigate. But I have to get to it, and to be honest with you, I've just been so tired lately. Right, so anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you have something positive to say. Hope it's helped you in some ways. We're still plodding along. Got some new things to design as well, which is coming up shortly, but we have got a full spool of filament, so I can do some more printing. But yeah, I was thinking about this new design for this new segment, and one of the problems with it is ideally it needs to be mounted on a metal drum with some sort of shielding compartments on it. Now I'm thinking about how to do that. I could use some thin sheet, use some of that nanocrystalline material which I have over there to create some screening around it, around the back, because that's where a lot of the field is escaping, and it's causing some issues when it's on a rotor, as I was testing the other day, because there's a heck of a lot of field coming out the back of this thing, and it's only the front that I'm really interested in. As you can see, well, let me just, I also need to get some more equipment, some tools. I need a gauge meter. I need to buy a gauge meter. At the moment I can't afford it. It's going to cost about 12 quid, so that's a setback at the moment. I need to get a Gauss meter as well for doing more accurate flux, that's magnetic field strength measurements. So there's a lot of things that I need which I can't afford right now. So this is why it helps if you've got some sort of donation set up. You know, you can move things along, otherwise you get stuck in a bit of a what's the word? Bit of a hole, which I often get stuck in a hole for weeks and weeks sometimes. So thank you, and see you later. Bye. I'm just trying to hit the stop button.